Hi YouTubers, one more knife painting before we get back to watercolours. um, this is when did I do this one? Probably a year ago. This one here. Now, knife painting could be difficult with this tree, so I might leave it out. But I probably want to put in this area here. Certainly that strengthen that mountain hill, or the hill you've seen. Let's go back. That's quite a nice one. Even that one's nice, isn't it? Let's do that one. Right, okay, so quite a low horizon, quite a nice bright sky. This is a bit of Winsor and Newton, not hot pressed. You can see the remains of a watercolour attempt there. They don't all work. I don't get many failures, but if you're learning you will, but don't throw them away. Just keep them because they will come in handy at some stage. Now the size of this is, the original piece of paper was 15 by 11, but the mount size will be something like 13.5 by 10. I've put these lines here just to represent where the mount, the orifice, if that's not a better word, the window actually fits. If I just go slightly over that line, I won't get too much paint on the back of this mount. Okay, so colours, well I've got some lemon yellows, yellow ochre, white, titanium white, an alkyd resin mix with an ordinary Winton student quality white. It makes it go further, and the paints will help all the other colours to dry, because the white will get in everything. And we've got alizarin crimson, cadmium red, ultramarine, cerulean, burnt sienna and black. I love black. I love it with the yellows and mixing in red and making olive greens, getting some dark, lush, rich greens. So painting knife, I've got a couple here I'm going to use. These two, or I've got another map here somewhere, which I used yesterday. That smaller one, that's a smaller one there. They're beautiful things to use. And if you like mucking around with cement, like crazy paving, doing pointing, artistic pointing, icing cakes, that sort of thing, you will love this. You will love painting with a knife. I've got my knees covered. You'll need to do that. I would urge you to have a go at all types of painting, pastels. I've done that, but I found that rather expensive when most of it ends up dust at your feet, and you've, without realising, you've rubbed the skin off your fingers on the very fine glass paper, or whatever you do it on. So I gave that up, and you need 10 tones in each colour. So, and they're expensive oil pastels, lovely to use. I did that, and I've done knife painting, acrylics, watercolours, but I think this is my favourite method of working. It's great fun. So let's start putting a sky in. So a little white. I've just coated this with ordinary household emulsion, both sides. So let's a bit of cerulean. So I want very light clouds with this. So plenty of white, plenty of blue, mixing with a bit of cad red. Might be the cerulean is not dark enough to do this, but we'll see. Cerulean mixes very well with ultramarine. Okay, so let's start. Let's just start to just go over that edge a little bit. Well, I should have got up to the masking tape. Oops. You can vary the strengths as you go if you like. I'm not going to do a copy of this. I'm just going to use it as a guide. Let's come right across there. This probably won't see the light of day once it's done. My paintings are for sale if anybody's interested. I charge about £60 for the acrylics plus postage package and £40 plus postage package for the watercolours. I don't quibble, that's what they fetch. Okay, that's quite a nice colour, isn't it? So let's put in a bit of ochre in there. You get experience of being able to repeat the mix, but you can, of course, mix up all these colours first, but it tends to be rather wasteful. So a bit of white in there. You can go quite thick in the sky, but it's when you get down to the landscape where you're going to be painting over, you need to get it quite thin. Okay, let's get that there. Nice streaky sky. One of the great exponents of night painting was Catherine Williams, who I always mention. He doesn't need the money because he's dead, but he left a lot of money when he died. Okay, we can titillate that later, so a little bit more white, a bit more yellow ochre, just pure white. And we can merge all this when we've got enough paint on there. Woke up to a covering of snow in my bit of South London suburbs. Just getting the paint on and then mucking about with it, really. I've got no method other than working top to bottom. I haven't done enough of these to have a method. But painting on watercolour paper, quality watercolour paper that is, well, you can paint on any surface, but this is quite lovely. It's got enough tooth in it. I'm going to use a bit of ultramarine. I think they give a better, want a bit of blue in there. Pinch your cloth and rag. It's a very joyful sort of way of painting. Oh, you can bring it all together. Once you get your paint on, you can bring it together. Oh, let's add some different colours in there. Let's start with reds. Oh, it all looks a bit of a mess at the moment. Mind you, it might end up a mess, but You use more white than anything else with this. But I suppose that's pretty obvious. It's just all these nice cloud light in the sky. And just breaking up that flat area at the top there. Subtly blending. Nice knife this. This is sort of a lightish grey blue for this here. Makes your wrists, well mine. Oh. It's no good really just flattening everything out so it looks like a brush painting. You want, the joy of this is to see the marks of the knife. We're sort of modelling. Right, getting with some really light blue, probably cerulean. Low down on that horizon. It's fairly light. I know you wish you were doing this. Because it is lovely to do. It's such a joy to paint with colour and fly by the seat of your pants. No, I just go down there, thin it all out here. I'll put some white bits of cloud coming down. Coming up. Like painting with numbers. You remember those kits we used to have? My father-in-law used to love doing those. He was a great carver of wood. Family got loads of his stuff. Okay, let's before we put that mountain in, or those hills. Right, the mountain's going to be blue. Flatten that out. I'm doing a knife painting mainly because I had some paint left over from the ones I did yesterday. There's a very good Facebook page called British Impressionists, and there are some very, very good artists on there, not all professionals by any means, but they are a guy called Andre Palette. He uses brushes as far as I see, well mostly. He's a superb, almost abstract expression, impressionism. And someone else's name escapes me now. I just put one on. It was the banner photo at the moment. An absolutely glorious freedom, but beautiful painting. Go and have a look at it. And also for watercolour painters, there's Matthew Clemens' big brush, run around some big brush watercolours. Any dodgy bits here, flat bits that I want to just enhance. That'll do, probably here. Quite like that, pretty colour, but I wanted to put in my mountains now. So we'll have a bit of alizarin, go away. And a lump of blue, let's see what a bit of cerulean does. Right here. I'll mix it with that sky colour. Now I don't want this too dark, because we've got lots of planes to put in here. See, that's why you don't go too thick in these areas. Try and keep everything soft. A little bit of red in there. Get it all the way across there. Great. Having so many paints, I think I've got my Facebook page, my Dave Usher artist page. I've got probably 1,050 going back since I got this laptop, about 4 years. Don't too many peaks. Gentle. Just the Hills Lake District. The UK Lake District, that is. Alright, let's get some. Now we want a nice lighter colour. Just to warm up the fields and things that will be in here. Catching some light. Get plenty of colour in. Don't be scared of colour, because we're making paintings. So some green in there, right? Let's show it in. A bit of red. Quite a warm colour. That hill coming down there. One bit of light there, a bit of counter change, otherwise it won't separate the planes. Bit of sienna. We're going from light to dark. Just fill up to there. Colour those bits. Okay, let's have a little bit of blue on the top there. Well, you wouldn't really, would you? Because that's nearer to us. Let's put a sort of a bluey tree line on the top there. So burnt umber and burnt sienna and a bit of ultramarine. Oh, the carpet's sticking up here. Oh, let's just put a little bit of stuff like that. Might be better using a different knife. With my little knife. There it is. Oh, trusty. Now, when you drag your knife through that to clean it, make sure it's in the paper and not on your finger, because with use these things get very sharp. There's some of that watercolour in here. Bit of this and that. Just merge it a little bit. We come down to the edge of the lake here. So this is where it's getting interesting, because I'm coming down to my horizon now. I've got to be a bit careful. Let's just, I don't want to come down and leave it too high, otherwise you'll have a load of paint to put in here. So just a few trees up here. I do love burnt sienna. These are real winter colours, apart from the alkyd resin. But this is a bit too dark, so let's just make these more blue. And some hedgerows. Stone walls, all sorts of fields. But although they probably won't show, because by the time I put my trees along there, bit of detailing some of these hills at the back. And we can put more trees, grey sort of bluey. Just hints. Okay, well that's just an impression of countryside. Go up to the hills, I don't know what I've done there. Okay, that's fine. These clouds rising over those hills as they come in. Right, now we can have some fun with the burnt sienna, ultramarine, and plenty of yellow in that. Oh, let's put these in. Far bank. The yellow. Try to get things varied much as you can. I put a bit of red. Spin that into the tree. Sort of silhouettes really. Are we going uphill? Wow. And other colours. Otherwise it's just monotony for a viewer. They've got to have lots of things to look at, even though they might not of themselves be very interesting, but taken as a whole. A bit of orange. Thick juicy paint now. Try to get that horizon horizontal. This is where the cutting down of the chair leg comes to mind. Alright, we need to come up there a bit, but we'll just there. Sorry if my head's in the way. I can't help that. There's a bit of ochre along there. Right, now we want a bit of variety in here. Now, I haven't got a clue where this is. It doesn't exist in reality. It's just a figment of the old imagination, such as it is. We just want to get some, just a little bit higher there. The green. let's have these just. Otherwise, it looks too monotonous. I need to do something in there. Okay, well we can see it now that that is a little bit of counter change there. So we'll just lower the intensity of that. Soften that. That'll do. We've got quite a bit of interest in the background there. Alright, okay, so just gives some light coming through there. Not sure it's very convincing. More red or more paper towel. Refer that to that grey. Okay, so that's a fairly horizontal horizon. So let's put in a bit of lightish stuff under here. It'll be my sort of bit of a headland. Oh, headland island. Some nice green in there. Now when you come into foregrounds, don't be scared of them. Just do them fairly quick and don't overwork them. Right, now you've got to do some water now. I might try and put a big tree on top of that. But I want to get some of that water done now. I'm not going to put reflections in, it's a bit too... Now if I'm going to put it slightly, these grey colours, to reflect more or less the sky. Well, a little bit's coming in there, but not a lot. I think if I try to put too many reflections in that, it would just spoil it. Alright, so keep it a little bit soft if you can, or if I can. See what it looks like, it's reflecting bits of the sky. Might be able to put some reflections in there. Merge that a little bit. Right, nice bit of light green. It's not very light green. Cerulean. Bit of red. Bit of white. Right. Have a wintry tree. So not wintry tree, but autumny tree. Or just a tree. Try and give a bit of impression of the trunk. Right, let's just get rid of that one. A bit of real good dark underneath as a bit of shadow. Right, okay, now let's do something in that area there, like a sort of a beachy, mixing a yellow ochre with a bit of black and a bit of burnt sienna. Nondescript colour really, and I can just do a bit of foreground there, and then we put a bit of water over it. Just mud. Now soften that top. Some bushy stuff, that'll do. Just to soften that edge. Hard to do that, so I won't do any more than that, I don't think. No, I don't like that. Let's get rid of that. Right, okay, let's come down with those. I'm not going to put anything on that side of the thing. Don't think it needs it. But lots of colour in the water. I think the motto is keep it simple, stupid. So we want some reflections. I've still got loads of paint on the palette, so I can't really. Which I'll do one for Patreon, perhaps this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Can't neglect them. But I know these aren't universally popular by watercolour followers, but I like doing them. It's my channel. Okay, let's get some of that in. Darker as you're looking down in the water. Looking forward to seeing this in the mound. I'll have to move the camera back so you can be able to see it. You're getting a right old mess, so make sure you've got an apron to cover your knees, which I forgot. Otherwise you'll get in your clean trousers. Sod's law. I don't want anything pure white on this. Just a little bit of off white. So if I was going to put a reflection anywhere, it would be along there. This would be broken water. That would be a flat bit of water which would reflect what's back there. But I'm going to think about that. I'm not sure I really want to do it. Get my palette a bit clean. Just knocking up a bit of that cloud colour. It must be lunchtime. What's the time? 1 o'clock. Well, you can always fast forward. I'll do it till it's finished. I don't really like doing 2 parts. So we're going to put a lot of reflection in there. Just drag some other colour into that. And some of that background. Come down there. It's got to look like a knife. Well, it doesn't have to. But if you can work it smooth. I did see a lovely Courbet Impressionist painting. I won't tell you where. Mind you, the owner's dead now. Which was just quite incredible, very fine. You didn't know it was a knife painting. You got up close to see the fine dabs. Very impressionist, of course. Maybe a little bit of a block around here. Don't know where the editing masking tape is here. Some lovely greens. The black is a wonderful mixer. green, sorry, my word. Okay, I don't reckon I can do much more than that. Right, okay. Got my fingers, get the mount. I'm just going to move you back away, because I think I'm fully zoomed in. That, just to put that there. And then we'll get that mount and try to clip it before it slides all over the paint. Oh, there we go. Oh, more or less. I can drop this a little bit. There. Okay. Ooh. Oh no. Ay. I'll knock my horizon up. It's easier said than done. But isn't everything? Oh, blast. Drat. Right. Okay, well there we are. There we have it. I think the sky is quite nice. Plenty going on in it. Quite a challenge, really. I quite like this now. I didn't when I first started. And maybe we could risk a bit of a reflection, shall we? Shall we chance it? Bit of a nondescript green. If it doesn't look right, you can tell me. Oh, thumbs down it. Which is the usual way. More paper. Right, okay. So that's given us, so we've got a reflection, haven't we? We've said that's all broken water there, and there's just a nice little calm bit in the middle. So, eat your heart out, Uncle Tom. Right, okay. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Go and have some homemade soup now. See you later. Bye bye.